You know that breathing exercise that sounds like an obscene phone call when you're in a yoga class? Like, kind of reminds me of Darth Vader. I find your lack of abdominal breathing disturbing. And it's not just that Ujjayi breathing technique, it's so many different breathing exercises. I mean, sometimes we're getting told to breathe into our bellies, sometimes we're being told to do this Ujjayi breathing, sometimes we're being told to do this like breath of fire thing. Yoga flame! It's actually fairly rare to have a yoga teacher take the time to explain to you why you're being instructed to breathe the way you're breathing. Normally it's just given as like a, here we go, this is what we're going to do now. So in this video I want to talk about what pranayama is, why we do it, and before I get into that, I think it might be really worthwhile to think about if we actually want to add more control to our breath. If we want to start trying to manipulate things and toying around with the breath, rather than just leaving it alone and letting it be more relaxed and natural. I mean, after all, it's worth considering that your breath has been breathing for much, much longer than your mind has been thinking. So, should your mind, your thinking mind, be interfering with the breathing breath? The word pranayama is a compound word. The first part, prana, means energy or life force, or sometimes associated with our breath, but it can also get prana from food and from things that we see and things that we feel. The second part is ayama, which is important. It's not pranayama. Yama means to control or to restrict, where ayama is the opposite. It means to free or to extend. And so pranayama really means freeing the breath, not necessarily controlling the breath. So one reason we might want to actually start to manipulate or change the breath in one way or another is once we start to recognize that maybe we have some habitual patterns of breathing that we've picked up over the years, and that potentially these habitual patterns are causing the reproduction of emotional states. When you feel down in the dumps and sort of defeated by stuff, very often your breath can go like kind of shallow, that sort of thing. And I have a suspicion, I don't know, but I have a suspicion that that's not only a symptom of feeling kind of down, it might also be a cause of feeling down. So one of the best things about pranayama is actually giving us the ability to recognize existing breathing patterns. So it's really only when you're instructed to breathe a certain way that you recognize that it's different, and that difference is like, oh, that's not how I normally breathe. So being instructed to breathe differently shows you how you breathe normally. This process is all about learning new patterns of breathing, not necessarily replacing old patterns with those new ones. I think a lot of yoga teachers get asked the question, what's the right way to breathe? And there's no one right way to breathe. I mean, breathing is based on context. You breathe based on what's appropriate now. So, if you are laying down on the beach, soaking up some sun, the right way to breathe in that situation is going to be very, very different than the right way to breathe if you're being chased by the police. Please note that this is not a romanticization of crime. The idea is you breathe how you feel, and you feel how you breathe. Learning new breathing techniques and new ways to move your breath is really about just expanding the vocabulary of your breath so that your breath is better able to adapt to changing life experiences and to different feelings and emotions that you're having. So there's really nothing mystical about it. Ultimately, this is just about familiarity. It's about becoming more familiar with your breath, becoming more comfortable with it, and watching it more closely so that when your breath starts moving a particular way, maybe a way that's habitual, a way that tends to lead you to particular kinds of feelings that you maybe don't want, you can notice that and as a result start to slow it down or potentially change it. Big picture, I think this is about slowing down. I think we as a culture are moving way too fast. Our cities move too fast, our bodies move too fast, our minds move too fast, and as a result, our breath moves too fast. So yoga techniques that are speeding things up, making things stronger, deeper, faster, in many ways, maybe are exacerbating existing problems. I'm not saying never breathe fast. Man, breathe fast if you want to breathe fast. Breathe fast if it's appropriate, if it makes sense to you. But make sure you know how to slow down. Make sure you know when your breath is getting out of control, when it starts to moving fast. You can feel it. You can see it happening. You know, oh, this is the breath that's associated with that fast spinning mind. What's a breath that's associated with a slow, calm, quiet mind? Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this video and you're interested in more about breathing, I'm running a workshop this summer, actually at the end of the summer. It's in September at the Prairie Love Festival just outside of Winnipeg. It's called Don't Hold Your Breath, Pranayama for Everyone, and it's going to be amazing. I'll probably run it again in Regina later on in the fall. Thanks again for watching, and listen, you can pass this stuff along really easily. If you see somebody that looks like they need to take a deep breath, just stop, breathe in through your nose, take a nice deep breath out through your mouth, and it's a little bit contagious, like a yawn. Check it out.